And right here in Livorno, Italy, Iran Barkley from the Bronx, New York, and an adopted native son now of Italy, Patricio Sumbu Kalambay, are getting set to contest the WBA World Middleweight Boxing Championship. It's right here for you on ESPN, coming right up from Livorno in Italy. Marvin Hagler ringside along with Ray Mancini to see if Barkley can ascend the throne of the WBA middleweight division. Iran Barkley's title hopes are about to be realized. He worked hard toward that goal all year long, first against Stacy McSwain. Back in February, good combination. A stunning left hand shown by Barkley. He stalked his man in the late going, relentlessly with both hands driving him across the ring. Barkley, an easy winner over McSwain, but he had one more step to climb on the ladder toward the title bout. That was outdoors in Las Vegas, Nevada against Jorge Amparo. Amparo proved a tough foe. He stood toe-to-toe, stayed with Barkley much of the way. Then in the middle round, was it a slip or was it a knockdown on a wet canvas, but Amparo went down. Badly cut, doctors at ringside allow Barkley to continue despite the eye. And he turned it on again in the late going, dropping Amparo a second time in round 9. That was enough to get a decision, and Barkley is on his way to a title shot here in Italy. So Iran Barkley of the Bronx, New York, is getting set to go against Sumbu Kalambay, now fighting out of Italy. He's become a naturalized citizen and an adopted son of this fine country that is hosting this boxing card tonight. So what are the important points? What are the keys to victory for these two fighters? When it comes to Barkley, you got to talk about a stronger defense. He's had a bad habit of leaving his left hand too low, and he's paying for it. He needs to put the pressure on early. I think he knows that in our pre-fight conversations with him. For Kalambay, well, need to control the fight. From the outset, if he can, he has good combinations. He's got to use them. You never know about Kalambay from day to day as to how he's going to come up for a fight. He looks pretty relaxed right now, though, Ray.
Oh, he's got to be relaxed. I've talked to him in the lobby. He's the most calm guy.
Yeah, of the two, Barkley, although he certainly wasn't totally uptight, would look a little more tense of the two.
Well, he certainly has a lot on his mind. You know, he knows he's in Italy, this guy's backyard. He wants to bring his title back to America. So he certainly is, you know, tense, but he'll use it to, you know, effective aggression, I'm sure.
Kalambay with 42 wins, 3 losses, and a draw in his career. Barkley 22-3 with 14 knockouts.
You said earlier, John, this certainly is an opportunity of a lifetime for Iran Barkley. I met Iran in 1983 when he was a sparring partner for then-champion Davey Moore. And he made such a good showing and such a name for himself then. So I'm glad to see that he's getting a chance for the fight for the title. And
marvelous Marvin Hagler, what do you expect from this bout coming up?
Well, I don't know right yet. You know, to me, they look very even. You know, I expected 50-50. I think the first round is going to probably determine how this fight is going to come out and what kind of pace that's going to be set, you know, for the 15 rounds.
It is a very small ring. Actually, it's 2 feet in measurement smaller than the minimum allowed by the rules on it, about 16 feet. I wonder if that would favor Iran Barkley.
Sure. Well, you know what's different about this? Neither one of them guys has been in for a title shot yet, so they have to fill each other out.
I think the sort of distance certainly would benefit Barkley. He is the stronger of the two. He's the pressure fighter. It's easier to cut off the ring easier.
It is scheduled for 15 rounds, and that is longer than Barkley, who has gone 12 as his maximum, has ever traveled on the pro fight ring. Barkley in the black trunks, and Kalambay in the white. The favorite of this crowd here, totaling 4,200, standing room only in Livorno, Italy.
Well, one thing that's good, when you fight away from home, you know you got to fight harder. And if he wants to bring the title back to America, that's just what he's going to have to do. Because he knows if it goes the distance here, I'm quite sure he won't get it.
Well, as we saw in an earlier feature on Barkley, he suffered a bad cut. In fact, many other places might have stopped that bout against Amparo. He went on to win a controversial decision. And I saw the scar from that. He runs the risk today of having that open up on him, I'm sure.
Well, what I've seen of Iran Barkley, you know, he'll take the fight right to you. He's not scared to be hit. But I think right now he's got to box a little bit more. Get that jab pumping.
It's a very tentative first round. The jab is very tame at this stage, flicking it infrequently. As it is, Kalambay is coming on with any kind of aggression here in the early going with his jab.
You were speaking earlier, Don, of the eye. Believe me, speaking from experience, you can't go into the ring thinking about that. You just go in and do your job. You figure, hey, you're going to get your face out of the way of the punches. And if it should cut, hey, then you'll deal with it then.
Yeah, I'm sure he's trying not to think of it, but it could be a factor in this bout.
Of course.
As we go along. Then again, it may not come to bear.
Well, I hope these guys just make it look like a championship bout. You know, that's my thought up there. They go,
that's one of them. You got it. Well, Nathan, you haven't got it. For the moment. All right, Marvin, what is the plan now? You want to let these people sort this out and get active again, or are you still thinking about it?
Well, let's let the world find out, see how these guys are. They'll let me know whether they want me back or not.
You want to see if the demand can be created, is that it?
Oh, yeah. Marvin, come back.
You're getting a sampling of that here in Livorno.
Oh, definitely.
It is scheduled for 15. Barkley and Kalambay.
Well, to tell you a little story, what happened by WBC, because we went and fight this guy Graham out there in London, and then Kalambay went out there and put him away. So, you know, now he's got the opportunity to fight for the title. That
was Kalambay's last fight on May the 26th, winning over Graham in London.
Well, I couldn't make that fight because I was fighting someone else named, what's that guy's name again? Leonard?
Never forget a name, right? Yeah, that was a much bigger chance than I thought that Mr. Graham would have been. So a very uneventful first round, but they've got a long way to go. Scheduled for 15. Stay with us. From the corner on the right now, the white front circling against Barkley of the Bronx, New York. The second round scheduled for 15. The WBA middleweight championship on the line here in Livorno in Italy and ESPN. Barkley getting a little more aggressive, showing signs of it here in the second round.
Yeah,
he fired to left of the body and then laid off, unfortunately.
But he's reaching, though, Don. He's reaching. And he could find himself in trouble by reaching.
I think at this point we're seeing a switch in roles. We thought it was Barkley that would be coming forward,
yes,
and Kalambay that would be backing up.
Well, he's backing up just for the moment now, but it's most of the aggression that's come from Kalambay.
Don, you see that Barkley's throwing a lot of left hooks down underneath and coming to the top. They said he was working on that in the gym, not throwing 2, but 3, 4, and 5 left hooks, one after the other.
You saw one right there.
Well, sometimes, you know, the crowd can work against you when you're a favorite here, you know. And Kalambay have to blank out the crowd and just go to work, concentrate on what he's got to do in there.
All right, we have a round that is judged by these two. How did you two gentlemen see it, Ray?
I had a Kalambay winning 10-9, just because at the end I think he started dictating the pace and he took center range. No big deal.
Well, I got it even. I got it 10-10.
They got a long way to go.
Also, if I may get a chance real fast before this fight starts to heat up, Don, I think the people of ESPN, and I'm sure I speak for everyone when we say that the people of Livorno have treated us royal. The people at the Hotel Palazzo have been very, very good. The accommodations have been great. I'm sure even that Al Bernstein would find these appealing.
I will have Al back with us in Las Vegas next week. But to show you how good the accommodations are for Marvin, he's staying with the King of Italy. You can spend his weekend.
That's right. I tell you, the ceilings are very high in there. I can have a ballroom dance in my living room.
You could bowl in the living room, I'm sure.
You can even tell Al that Liza Minnelli's was spent last week there, so it's not the Hilton, but it'll do.
Now Mancini and Hagler are gracing this old hotel. Well, these two, Barkley and Kalambay, start to mix it up a little better here in the second round.
Well, you know,
more power now from Iran.
Both of them are looking for early knockouts, though. And they got to realize they got a long way to go in there.
Good shot. Now, he dug that left hook underneath and that right hand to the top. Good combination. That's what Iran's going to have to do.
But Iran is getting hit with he's leaving his head up when he's throwing them.
What about his left hand? I know it comes up and down, but it doesn't look to be as dangerous as those before.
Head, though. That's where he's going to get caught with a hook.
Good point.
You just watch how his head keeps coming off every time he throws those body shots.
Defense has been a problem for him throughout his pro career. This is his 26th professional bout, shooting for the WBA middleweight title here tonight.
Well, Kalambay looks real calm, though. He's just waiting for Barkley to make a mistake.
There's the bell to end the shot. A very calm expression on the face of Kalambay as he comes out for round 3 against Barkley. They begin to mix it more in that second round after a very tentative first in which both men fell his opponent out.
physically, these two guys are about the same. Barkley may have a half inch to an inch height advantage. The reach, almost the same. Again, Barkley has a slight advantage there.
They're weighting just half a pound apart today. Kalambay at 160 and Barkley at 159.5.
But,
well, however, there's a story to that.
Yes.
Well, if you notice something here, Kalambay keeps moving all the time towards his left. And pretty soon, Barkley will probably start zeroing it in because he's open for a right hand. He's dropping that left hand down low, Kalambay is.
You're listening to Marvin Hank.
Good.
Right there.
Great. Good shot. Yes, you did, man.
Now he's going to...
He heard him. He caught him on the end of that punch. Cut him on the end of that punch.
Now, what Kalambay's got to do is stay in tight. He's letting Iron Barkley get off with them long right hands, and he's still circling to that left side. What Barkley's got to do, he's got to throw that left hook and straight right hand.
He'll step over to the right, Mark?
That's right.
Keep
that right hand.
He's two flashes
right here.
And not now.
Right there, he just got caught because Barkley keeps his head up when he comes in.
Yes, he's throwing that left hook from too far away.
I think he's concentrating too much on trying to knock this guy out when he should be trying to put his punches together.
A little over-anxious in pursuit of
There it is.
A good shot right there.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Now he's losing his self-composure, and that can get you in trouble. Barkley don't like to be hit. And when he gets hit, he gets aggressive, and he loses all self-control like that. Run into things like that.
Kalambay looks most composed and collected.
Well, they've both been stung to me right now.
That's what I'm noticing about Barkley is that his hands are getting, as we say in the business, ragged. They're not staying in front of him. They're all over the place. Oh, there's a good shot.
Yeah, but look, there's his head up again. That's the right hand.
Tries to follow there with the right, yep.
Throw that left hook in the straight right hand. That's what he's got to do. Follow up with it. You can come back with another left hook. You got to put his combination together.
I'm sure when he gets back to the corner, Hector Roca, his trainer, will tell him correct these mistakes.
Well, you can see also Kalambay just pulled back out of there, and that could be a bad mistake also. That's what happens. When he backs up out of there, your head comes up, and your hands go down.
Right here, you'll see, right ran back, Barkley threw that right hand, caught him right at the end of it. He didn't get him square with it, because if he did, he could have put him down, maybe.
A good following left hook to end that flurry.
Yes, he did hurt him, though.
This is the fourth round, scheduled for 15 in Livorno, Italy.
Well, I gave it both. I gave it 10-10 because of the reason that I think they both got stung. He got caught with that uppercut earlier, too. So they're both right now starting to heat up, and they're both finding their targets.
How did you see the last round, Ray?
I give it to Barkley 10-9. I think that he hit him with the more aggressive shots, the stronger punches, and I think now that he's starting to dictate the fight. He's starting to do the things that he wants to do.
He is reputed to be the heavier puncher of the two.
But Ken, like Marvin said earlier, remains to be seen.
You know, this fight's very even to me right now. You know, there's still no one's dominated it at all. Anything can happen in this fight.
I also want to say, Don, that we have Iran Barkley, even though we are in Italy, has some support here. We have his wife here. We have American film actor Danny Aiello, who's doing a film in Rome. He's here cheering a friend on.
Well, Barkley was an amateur who had to give up his Olympic dream. He became a father of a young daughter just a couple of years before the Olympics and decided he'd better turn professional. And now he's very close to a world title if he can beat this tough opponent, Sumbu Kalambay.
Well, Kalambay looked like he's starting to get aggressive now. He might have found something in that last round. See, there you go right there. Nice right hand. And it was a long right hand. Again, just on the tip of it.
Kalambay, you can see he's a slick fighter. He turned his shoulder. He rolled with the punch. This is what I said about earlier, the intelligence. They say it's the intelligence of Kalambay versus the strength of Barkley.
Yeah, he has the look of a very clever fighter. Will Barkley be clever enough not to get caught? Because we say defense has not been his strong suit.
You know, defense is your best offense, and your best offense is your defense.
Very well put, Mark.
Good point.
I've been in there 17 years.
Yes.
Guys found out a thing or two, hasn't he, Ray?
I did a little bit.
There's that hook from Kalambay now.
Well, you know what I noticed? Every time I told you when he's getting wild, now Barkley's getting wild, he started lifting his head up every time he throws that crazy left hook to the body. He's getting careless a little bit. He's gambling.
And he pays for that exchange.
Marv, I'm
There's
sure
the jab from Kalambay.
as an experienced fighter, what would you tell Barkley in the corner? He's starting to cock that left hand, and every time he does, Kalambay steps over to the left. Would you tell him to feint with the left hook and drop the right hand?
Feint and see what he's going to do.
Oh!
Kalambay's going to catch him because Barkley's getting careless.
But Barkley right there had a good exchange. A couple of hooks and 3 pretty good-looking jabs.
Every time he cocks the left arm, Kalambay moves over to the left, away from the hook. He should feint with the left hook and drop the right hand.
Tries to pin him in the corner and nail him there, but he takes the left hook from Kalambay. And so the 4th round is over here in the Bono. It is scheduled for 15. Stay with us on ESPN from Italy. All right, Marvin, let's have a look at some of that 4th round action.
See, this is the shot that I've been telling you about. Barkley starts to drop that right hand a lot. And Kalambay is going to start countering right over that right. Right over the left, excuse me.
Yes, he has done that before and did a pretty good job, at least a better job, of keeping it up in the first couple of rounds, but it's sinking lower and lower.
I think Kalambay is starting to get a little smart now. Like Ray says, he's starting to use the experience. He's rolling his shoulders, taking the edge off the power of the punch.
Barkley said, my left hand tends to sag a little. I have to constantly remind myself of it.
Well, you know what every boxer should do is always use that jab. That jab is what's supposed to set your opponent up for a right hand or a left hook or whatever.
See, Marvin said earlier, every time Barkley cocks the left hand, he also sticks his chin up, which you can see he is doing. He's going to have to tuck it closer to his chest.
Don't worry. Kalambay will find it. He'll tuck it down then.
Good right hand and a chin to clear that real fast, right, Marvin?
He's lying. There it is again. That's the shot we were just talking about.
A wicked left hand.
Kalambay is watching him real good, real close.
There it is again.
Aaron Barkley's getting careless. He wants to put this man out, and that's the wrong thing to do. Take your time in there. Pick your spots. Be smart. This game of boxing is a chess and checker game.
Yeah, no sense being impatient, I guess. You're saying you got 15 rounds you signed for, wear them down, and use it to your advantage.
Exactly.
This is the thing, talking to Iran Barkley earlier today. He was saying that he knows it's a 15-round fight, and each round he's taken separately as a separate fight, and he's not going to go in there and try to do the job too soon. He feels that if he can keep the pressure up, it'll catch him in the later rounds.
Well, what Kalambay is doing right now is countering. He's just countering right back. When he throws a punch, he's countering right back. And that's smart on his part.
And often catching Barkley on the way in with a good left hand of his.
Well, you know, Barkley was getting off first in the beginning. Now he's trying to go for power. And that's slowing him down and throwing off his accuracy. And he's getting hit more. That's what I mean. Kalambay's beating him to the punch now. Just by using the jab.
Yep,
Just the jab. That's what we was talking about. And that's what they teach you first in the gym.
There's the hook. He uses that left hand very well.
Yes, he does. Very intelligent.
And you can see Kalambay is keeping his hands up a little higher than what Barkley is.
There's a hook at the end of that exchange by Barkley that landed with the left hand. Again, in the main, he's getting beaten to the punch here by Kalambay as it reaches the 5th round of action for this championship. Referee is Isidro Rodriguez from Venezuela. And he's letting them do their thing. So they're just about a third of the way home here. Scheduled for 15 in Italy. Stay with us. Example of that last round of Barkley letting his defenses down, getting caught with a good left hand from Kalambay.
He's kind of losing his composure now. He's going for the knockout, and that's why he's making a lot of mistakes out there, Don.
This is round 6. Don Chevrier with marvelous Marvin Hagler and Ray Mancini ringside. In Italy for you is the WBA middleweight crown is up for grabs. Iran Barkley in the black trunks and Patricio Sumbu Kalambay in the white.
Well, this is a very interesting fight for me. I wonder what Tommy Hearns and Rodan are doing in Las Vegas right now.
They may have their minds on other things, like next Thursday night.
Well, I'll be there.
Frank Tate won 1/3 of the championship over Elijah Day. Well, Dan and Hearns go at it. These two are here tonight looking for another third of the title that once belonged to marvelous Marvin Hagler. I get a feeling he has thoughts about having it returned to him.
Well, I don't like this atmosphere, but it's interesting.
seems lately that Iran Barkley is becoming a one-handed fighter. He's got to start dropping that right hand. But certainly feint with it, let the guy know that he has it.
Yeah, the left can set up so much, but you got to follow with it.
What about the over? I think Barkley's going to throw the overhand right is what he's trying to set up Kalambay with. Right there.
Yeah.
He's trying to throw the overhand.
Yep.
Because that would be a good shot for him right now. Because Kalambay is dropping that left hand now also. Because he's not throwing any of his punches straight now. He's looping everything. See? You kind of forget about boxing.
All right, let's see how these two world champions have scored it so far.
I scored last round 10-9 Kalambay, I'm sorry. And I have a 48-47, 1 point lead for Kalambay.
Marvin?
Exactly, that's the same thing. I gave Kalambay that round, 10-9.
Well, Kalambay has shown that he can initiate action and be a good counterpuncher as well.
Ooh.
Well, they're both throwing hooks now.
He slipped inside of Barkley's hook and dropped his own. Look, he's starting to roll the head. He's rolling the shoulders, rolling the head.
But Ray, he's also dropping that left hand.
Yes, he is. So preoccupied with a straight
All
right.
it takes is a good right hand right there. That's all it takes is a nice straight right hand. I think Barkley looked like he's getting hurt, you know.
Oh, good shots to the body.
He's hurt.
And some blood now coming from the mouth.
He's getting wild. He's getting wild.
Almost getting
wild. And this is what I told you about Barkley. This is the only thing that gets him in trouble. This is how my younger brother beat him.
Robbie Sim.
Oh, yeah.
Dropped it.
I like to see him get back in there.
Well, that's the end of the round. It was a very good one for Kalambay as Barkley's defense simply fell apart in the final minute of that round. Here's round 7 underway, approaching the midway point of this scheduled 15-round WBA middleweight championship bout.
Barkley's getting hit more now. And one thing that Kalambay has advantage of, because the cornermen can't understand what Kalambay's people are saying to him in the corner. They're speaking Italian to him.
A good hook by Barkley again, but he is certainly catching more than he is giving.
Too far out. He's not stepping in with his punches at all. He's reaching. That's what I was telling you in the first round.
Kalambay certainly is sticking to his fight plan, though. He said he's going to stay at the end of a jab, move, then try to step in and throw flurries of punches and then move again. Thus far, he's doing a good job of it.
Sure he is, Ray. You know, he's counterpunching now. He's waiting for him to throw something like right there and then counter from it, see?
Yeah, Barkley's starting from so far back, he can't help but be wild when he throws it.
Yeah.
Well, he's losing it right now.
Barkley seems that he's, I'm sure he looks surprised at Kalambay's speed.
I believe that Barkley's left eye is a little swollen over the top.
Well, that was the eye that caused some problems to him before.
Probably from the hard jab, that left jab that Kalambay is doing. That's a nice right hand. Now, what he should do is pick up that left hand right now. I think he's spitting blood out of his mouth also.
Yeah, he was in the previous round and is again here. Kalambay very patiently has just fought his plan. Throughout this bout and round by round, you've seen him gain control while Barkley's frustration grows.
I wonder how come Barkley's not concentrating on trying to cut the ring off of Kalambay. He's just letting him walk around him. Right there, he's got him. And then he gets crazy and loses it.
Tried to follow with a right there, but couldn't control it.
Now he should have came back with a left hook and step in with the left hook.
There's a lunging right that lands from Kalambay.
I ran Barkley's legs shuddered there for a moment. Now, I don't know if it's because he's hurt, or he's tired, or he just was off balance. But I'm going to start. You have to watch those legs from here on.
Well, they can tell you a lot, can't they?
Oh, that's for sure.
And you watch his hands, too. They're also dropping. I see Barkley just took a quick look at me over here. Like, what am I doing wrong?
He thinks he's a tag team now.
Marvin said first thing is going after my title.
Barkley able to get less and less done as this fight progresses. Chopped jumping right, a big left to follow.
And what Barkley does wrong.
Alza le mani però Sumbu, anche la sinistra.
This was 7th round action. But the long left just grazing, and then the hard chopping right landing from Kalambay.
Kalambay's corner was telling him, and I caught this in Italian, Don, not to stand there and punch with them, but use his speed. Use his speed. Don't stand there and punch with them. That's probably even though he's beating him to the punch.
It was Barkley who flashed speed earlier, but that has diminished greatly as the bout has progressed now to the halfway mark.
Well, he's still spitting out blood, you know. I think Barkley's not used to being used to seeing his blood.
Well, he certainly was in the last play when he had that bad cut against Amparo, managed to win the fight. But this will be very uncomfortable for him at this stage.
I don't think that he anticipated that Kalambay would be this tough.
Maybe not.
We were talking about last round where Barkley was looking a little bit tired. Let me assure everyone that he is in tremendous shape, great shape. He's had 3 sparring partners with them, and I think they're worth mentioning. Dennis Milton from New York, Richard Burton from New York, and also Roosevelt Williams from New York. These guys gave him tremendous amount training, tremendous sparring. I hear their ring wars were maybe more exciting than this fight, but he's certainly ready.
And the scoring in that last round, gentlemen?
I gave it to Kalambay again, 10-9, and I have him up by 3 points at this point.
Well, I gave him a 10-8. I think that Barkley is slipping.
His earlier momentum is on the wane.
I think he wants to try to end the fight kind of early, and that's what's messing him up.
He's been trying to do that for about 5 rounds now. He's getting more frustrated as a result.
Frustrated. That's what you're saying, frustration.
The quick hands of Kalambay showing more and more as this bout progresses.
And you see Kalambay rolling with the punches.
You wouldn't know about looking at these 2 guys how they're going to war now, but these 2 are the 2 of the nicest guys I've ever met going into a title fight. They've been hanging out, not together, but in the same room at the hotel lobby. Both very soft-spoken and both very gentle guys, but they're certainly not showing that today in the ring.
Well, they got a prize that is valued by both. WBA middleweight title. Barkley pushed it around there now. Took one on the chin. He comes back with the left hand again. But you get the feeling that he is so off-balance defensively, he's going to pay and pay and pay as this fight continues. He's never gone 15. He certainly has trained for it and done that, he says, in the gym. He has gone 12 rounds. Barkley we're speaking now. Rodriguez, the referee from Venezuela, has not had much to do. But the momentum has shifted to Kalambay as he takes that edge now through 8 rounds. Barkley again badly off balance in that last round and really paid for it. Out of control here as he came up. Bingo, the uppercut wisely thrown by Kalambay.
Well, I believe that Barkley knows right now that he's slipping. I just heard his corner tell him. He just asked his corner, told his corner that he was messing up. He knows he was messing up. And his corner tried to give him more confidence by saying that the fight is real close, but you're winning it. And I don't see it that way.
I think misleading information, we would all agree, from Hector Rucka, but he's trying to encourage him at this stage and keep him at his game or get him back to his game.
Well, the way that that's going right now, I got 68 for Kalambay and 66 for Barkley.
Ray, you've got a wider margin, I think.
Well, after last round, after the 7th, I had a 68-65, but I now have a 78-74. It's a 4-point margin.
Oh, boy, Kalambay is really tattooing him here now as he catches all kinds of leather with both hands coming in.
You know what I'm wondering right now? I'm wondering, you know, that weight loss that Barkley had, I wonder if that's affecting him right now, that he's not getting his punching power the way that he would like to on the strength.
That's a good point, Marty. That was the story you were talking about, Don.
Well, this morning he was 153 and a half, and he had to down a couple of bananas and drink pails and pails of water.
This is something, again, I don't agree with. The people at the WBA forced him to gain weight so he would be over the junior middleweight limit, because at first when he weighed in, he was underneath it. What difference does it make, as long as he's underneath it? I didn't understand
make the weight for that division. That's all that counts.
They made him eat to gain weight.
Well, you know what's happening. Kalambay is taking control. And he's just taking his time out there now, picking his spot. He knows that he's got a beaten man out there. And all he's got to do is keep us undiscouraged. And that's what he wants to do.
I get the impression, Marlon Hegler, that you're a little more impressed with Kalambay now.
Oh, good left hook.
Now, see, this is the stuff that Kalambay can't afford. He's got to keep that jab moving and keep his balance.
I don't know why Myron Barkley's not jumping on him. He just hurt him with left hook and he backed off.
He stuck him.
I think he's a little worried right now that he might run out of gas, so probably by that pound that we were talking about.
Hey, Marv, when you're going for that title, you're going all out, right, brother? I mean, that's it. You just go all out.
What are you talking about?
There are no gas stations along the way. You got to have a full tank and hold as much as you can.
I think Kalambay right now is starting to get that Tiger feeling in him and probably take it to him and try to put him out in this round. Put his rounds over.
But he did get nailed with a mighty big blow from Barkley. He just couldn't sustain and follow it.
Well, he's making Barkley work, that's for sure right now. And he's keeping his right hand up, which you just seen up by his head. He's worried about Barkley's left hook.
He did win respect, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. You see he's up a lot higher now.
But again, you made a good point earlier when you said the weight might have hurt him. He might be a little too weak.
That's what it looks like to me now.
Wildness again cost him. This time he ducked out of the way, but in the previous round he got stunned for being off balance. And he paid for it as he backed across the ring.
Well, you know what it is. Both of these guys are sparring really well, you know, and I think that the water that's on the canvas right now, because it's a slippery looking canvas here, and I think that's what's throwing Aaron Barkley's balance off.
Don, this is what they call a fast ring, where the canvas is slippery. It's stretched across very tight.
What Barkley has to do in order to come back into this fight is start shooting more right hands, more straight right hands.
There's a bunch of lefts pawing at him there, but no rights that followed.
Well, you see Kalambay's already got his number. That's why he's got his right hand up higher now. But every time he backs up, though, he drops his left hand, and Barkley don't take advantage of it by stepping in and shooting the right hand. He just stands there and reaches.
Again, like I said earlier, there's the role reversals here. Kalambay is the aggressor, Barkley's boxing, and I don't know. I just didn't expect this.
Well, there's that wet canvas again, right there. Yep.
That's what I was talking about, the water on the canvas. That was no knockdown.
All right, let's see how Mancini and Hagler have it scored so far.
I gave that last round to Aaron Barkley. I think he hit him with some good shots. He started coming on. And I now have it 87-84, a 4-point lead for Kalambay.
Well, I gave it to Kalambay 10-9. He seems more composed.
This is the 10th round. It is scheduled for 15 in Livorno, Italy. Yeah, that's causing more and more problems.
And again, Barkley comes up with the head. Every time he picks it up, and that's how he gets tagged.
It is a fast track and a very compact one, this ring, just 16 feet in measurement.
Well, you know, this is a fast pace, too. And these guys have been throwing a lot of leather.
But a very active fight since a very terrible first round. And here's the slippage again. Here's Kalambay with his head caught between the top two strands of the rope.
That was a nice move by Barkley because he was coming right at him.
He turned that around in a hurry, didn't he?
He got out of there.
But look at Kalambay move that head. He's riding with the punches, taking the steam out of Barkley's punches and making a miss. He just rides, bobs and weaves. Nice. I like what I see in Kalambay.
Well, you know what that does to you, Ray, when you miss.
Oh, it does for sure.
Takes all the steam out of your punches.
That's it. And at this point, Marv, like you said earlier, he looks like he's weakening, maybe because of weight loss. They surely can't afford to waste a lot of punches.
Well, maybe he's worried about that 15 rounds, too. He looks like he's hurt a little bit.
Yes.
One good shot, he might go.
Very discouraged. He looked in the corner.
Well, he keeps looking over at me. Why is he looking at me?
Well, you can't help him now.
Hey, nobody can help him now.
He's on his own, you're right. Barkley gamely hangs in, but Kalambay winning more and more of the momentum here as the 10th round comes to an end.
It looks like
Out they come for an 11th round. It is scheduled for 15. Don Chevrier with Ray Mancini and Marvelous Marvin Hagler with you in Livorno, Italy on ESPN tonight. And that ring, we got some attendants out there with towels trying to dry it off. It was an increasing problem in the 10th round for both fighters.
I think Aaron Barkley really don't want to fight anymore. You don't look like it, you know?
You think the heart's gone out of him?
Yeah, I think he's taking the starch right out of him.
Well, I'm not going to be that bold to say that. Marvin could, but I just think he certainly looks confused.
He looks dismayed. It hasn't gone the way he planned it.
That's a good word. He certainly looks dismayed in there.
Like, now what do I do, you know?
But the heart, you know, sometimes that heart just won't stop.
Well, that's the mark of a good fighter. You know that. And if you're going to be a champion, that's what you got to have.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right here, I'm telling you, Ray. Ray might not go past this round.
Could very well be true, Mark. Barkley looks very sluggish and tired at this point.
Well, you know when he gets sluggish like that, he's going to start going out, get more sluggish and make a mistake. And you know what happens? And this is one of the problems that Barkley's always had in his career.
Yeah, there's no question that both Mancini and Hagler have Kalambay winning this fight and that last round.
Kalambay is now certainly the aggressor, but he's like a shark who smells blood. He's going in for the attack.
He's getting it both ways. I mean, he's the aggressor, and yet when he has to be a counter puncher, he beats Barkley to the punch there, too.
That's the kind of stuff that Barkley does. That's very amateur. And that's where he should stay. Keep the head right in his chest and go to the body. And keep that head down at all times.
Just a perfect example by this, how sluggish he is.
Good right hand by Kalambay. A wild left throw.
Real sluggish, real sluggish.
Barkley's mouth is wide open, sucking air right now.
Sucking that air up.
And that's not very smart, because you can call it a good punch and possibly risk a broken jaw.
His legs moving in a plodding kind of movement now. Another big round for Kalambay.
Well, he's moving away from him now, to me. I gave Kalambay that last round 10-9 again.
The left gets it,
and I think Barkley's cut on the eye now. That can create a lot of problems for him. That cut that you said that I think it reopened that he had from his last fight. Ooh, nice.
Lost his balance.
I don't think he won anymore. I don't think he won
He's
anymore.
really getting hammered down. Fighting gamely, but Kalambay is all over him.
This is the only thing that keeps him in this fight, because he'll fight back. It shows heart, though. You have to give him credit.
Well, Tricio, the name they have given him here in Italy, is being chanted by this enthusiastic crowd in Livorno. There is the bell with a couple of seconds left. The side of the bell by Sumbu Kalambay.
Well, Kalambay does look the fresher out of the both.
Boy, he had him on off balance, and that wet canvas spinning all over this ring in that last round again.
That's because he's getting desperate now. He knows he's getting tired, and he's just going for it. I think he's going to try to go all out this round.
It's the 12th. This is as far as Barkley has ever gone as a pro. But this fight is scheduled for 15.
Well, now you know what conditioning means. His eyes start to close now. That can create a lot of problems later on.
Certainly the cut, nothing by Harrison approaching the extent of the cut against Amparo in his last fight.
Kalambay is going right at him now like a tiger.
Robbie Sims did stop Barkley, as we told you earlier. He lost to Wesley Silent. He's lost 3 in total as a professional.
I see Barkley's legs. He keeps bouncing around. He's trying to feel his legs and make sure, like Ray said earlier, his legs are starting to weaken him. You can't take too many of those. See, when he stepped in with the jab there, he looked very good then. That's what he has to do. He has to step in. He's reaching, and that's how he's getting caught in the end of the punch of Kalambay.
Kalambay has not been stopped as a professional. He has just 3 losses by decision and a draw to go with his 42 wins coming in.
Nice left hook Barkley threw right then, but he's got to step in. He's got to follow up with that right hand.
That's a solitary left, but by itself doesn't mean that much.
Well, I think he's forgot all about his right hand. See, if he would throw him straight, he would catch this guy.
See, that again, Mark, I don't understand. Barkley comes in, throws bing, bing, bing,
and then
backs up.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Gets to back you down for a few seconds, then goes back at it later.
Well, he should be starting to stay tight. I think that's his only way of survival, right?
Certainly a lot more tiring on a fighter to back up.
Hands are starting to tire. Ray, I think this round he might be gone. We don't want to get up in anywhere. I think he wants this referee to stop the fight.
You see the scoring, both Mancini and Hagler have got Kalambay comfortably ahead.
I think they may stop this round. He looks tired.
You think he's in that much trouble?
No, he just looks tired. I think he's going to get careless, and that's what's going to cost him.
There's no question about who's getting there first now, and more often, and that is Kalambay in the white trunks.
His hands are getting real tired now, you know, on Barkley. He's moving away now more, trying to survive. And Kalambay is just keeping that pressure right on him, and he'll work that jab.
There's the bell to round the 12th round. They have 3 more scheduled here for the WBA middleweight championship in Italy. We'll be right back. Well, here's that incident that many thought might have been a knockdown, but as Barkley came in, he simply threw the left and lost his footing, a slip.
Well, I think it's true. They're throwing a lot of water on Barkley, trying to keep him awake, keep him off there. Just get something going. They told him he had only 2 more rounds, baby. Let's put it together. That's easy for them to say.
Yeah, but certain desperation now in the faces of his cornermen, too, I noticed between rounds. Barkley, I'm speaking of. Nothing but calm again in Kalambay's corner because he's got the lead. It's up to him to hold it now or finish him off.
Nice.
Short chopping right, but he takes up.
Well, that's what Barkley's got to do. See, you see he's going forward now again. Every time when he was backing up, he was getting in trouble. I think that might have took a lot out of him. He got caught with a nice uppercut, another uppercut. He's getting caught with the uppercut.
He bangs with a left.
Got another one.
Solid combination close there.
He's not cool. He's not covering up at all on the inside.
Wide open. Kalambay is teeing off on him.
Kalambay is punching inside of Barkley's arms. Barkley's punches are wide. Kalambay's coming up through the middle.
And the blood coming down Barkley's eye.
Takes 2 jabs after a good-looking right. He's a tired fighter from the Bronx, New York, down late going.
He's tired. He's fighting just on hard.
The legs very wooden-like. Very stiff-looking. And again, Kalambay, who can win as the aggressor, can win as the counterpuncher as well.
Kalambay is certainly having...
Well, he's got to keep...
So go ahead, Mark.
Go ahead. He's got to stay tight on Kalambay if he wants to hang in there. He's got to stay tight. He crossed the arms in the inside.
Kalambay surely has shown that he has a good chin tonight. He has got hit with some good left hooks right square on the chin, and he's standing up.
Yeah, for a guy with a lead, he must know he has. He's taken some unnecessary risks in the late round.
Well, that's the heart of a champion. You don't want to leave it in the judge's hands. Ask Marvin about that.
Oh, we know about that. Can't do that no more. That's if I decide.
Another rib, huh? Now, the question is, if Kalambay doesn't make a serious mistake and get nailed here, he's on his way to a title.
That's fatigue right there. That's fatigue setting in. He's going, like Marvin said, on strength, on heart.
Well, you know what would be nice, Ray? To see all 3 of these guys have a box off and unite the title once again. Then maybe come see Mr. Age.
And then we'll go by initials. I like that.
You will be sure to leave your card where you can be contacted.
Oh, believe me, they know where I'm at. I'm not hard to find.
Well, Burns and Roldan will take care of the other third of the 3 middleweight titles next week in Las Vegas. But now it looks like Patricio Sumbu Kalambay is nicely on the way to this one, the WBA version. And takes the uppercut to Graves to the left to follow.
Well, to me, I thought that was more or less a slip from the water on the canvas.
He took some real shots.
But the uppercuts are tough. Those uppercuts are tough. He's coming right out and giving it all right now.
He really is. He's got to let it all hang out and fly if he wants to win it down. Barkley, that is, and he knows it. Behind by a considerable margin.
Well, Kalambay is just laying back now.
Look, he's just rolling those shoulders. I like what I see right now.
It takes a lot of energy out of you, Ray.
Yes.
Every time you miss.
I mean, Kalambay, I wasn't sure. I didn't have a book on him, but I'm telling you what, this guy is really a sharp fighter.
Well, you've certainly seen more of Barkley than Kalambay, but he has earned my respect, I'll tell you that much, and I think you share it.
Both these guys, there is no loser tonight. There just will be one winner, that's all.
What Kalambay did, he succeeded in taking Barkley's plan away from him early and just turning the whole thing around to his advantage.
That's the name of the game. That's what you want to do. Establish dictatorship right off the get-go.
No question that Barkley needs a knockout to win this. There's no indication he's going to get it, as hard as he is trying.
Well, Ray, we might have to get out of here quick if Kalambay wins. These people look like it's going to be a madhouse.
I know, I'm going to jump in that ring.
Not as quick as if he loses, I'll tell you.
Good point, Don.
But his crowd has been treated to a good title bout.
A tremendous fight, and I think people all over the world and in America have been treated by supreme athletes. These guys are tremendous.
Look what I'm scoring now,
myself.
Story, Marvin, that you both have at this stage into the 14th round. Very one-sided. Iran constantly getting beaten with a punch. As hard as he is trying for the big blow to turn it around, it's just not there for him.
Well, he should start going back to boxing. Either that or go on the inside. He's safer on the inside.
Yeah, I think right now he's going to have to pressure, stay close, and throw punches.
That's what he's got to do. Get in the inside and hopefully get lucky.
And if he wants to rest on the inside.
On the inside.
This would be a big month for boxing in Italy, with 2 champions crowned within 3 weeks apart, Don.
That's right. Rocky over in Perugia at the foot of the Italian Alps, getting the other title won 3 weeks ago. He is here tonight. There's a good left again by Kalambay.
There's a lot of blood coming out of his mouth, out of Barkley's mouth right now. He's probably having trouble breathing.
Yeah, that mouth open much of the time.
Oh, you tell you what, someone's going to be sore tonight after this fight. A nice hot bath.
Both of them.
We know what that feels like, don't we, Ray?
That's for sure.
Sumbu Kalambay looks to be 3 minutes precisely away from the WBA middleweight championship here in Italy tonight. He turned it around and Barkley and simply accelerated as he pulled away from the fighter from the Bronx, New York, who's in a desperate situation now. Round 15, the final one.
There's the heart of Iran Barkley coming right out after him saying, hey, it's the last round, let's give it all we got.
Nice, caught him with a nice double left hook.
Yes, he did. Stung him a couple of times over there.
Kalambay pretty good there. You know, Kalambay can't relax and think he's got this fight won yet, you know.
You're right, Marv. He's starting to be a little bit too confident.
That's it. See, you never until they say the fat lady sing.
I've seen a lot of fat ladies.
She is at least tuning up.
It's the pasta.
Barkley with a spirited debut here in the 15th round. Chops him with a good hard left hand.
Kalambay, he can just move around and just stay out of range of Barkley. I think he knows they have this fight won.
Yeah. So here's when you might concede to the judges if you're in his shoes and say, yeah, I got it won, and let you stay out of trouble.
Well, you better watch that cut there over Barkley's eye. It could be giving him problems. It looks like the blood might start dropping in his eye now.
So the same spot as the one on the Imparo fight.
Oh, nice. He caught Kalambay with a nice overhand left there.
He's got it with a few good punches here in this round. It's been certainly his best for the last half dozen or more.
Oh, he starts cocking it. When you start cocking that left hand like that, you're vulnerable for a straight right hand. That's the way my trainer taught me.
Mark, I said earlier that the ring, being as small as it is, would benefit Barkley. It's just the opposite. It's been benefiting Kalambay.
Exactly. All the expectations got turned around here inside about 3 rounds.
Well, Kalambay's got to stay off those ropes, though, because every time that Barkley gets him on the rope, he lets those babies fly.
Getting very late now for Iran Barkley. The 15th and final round. And he has certainly come out with a flourish trying to score the knockout he needs to win, but it hasn't been there.
Well, you have to give Barkley a lot of credit, though.
Yes, you do.
You know, he showed a lot of heart, and he's still fighting like a tiger in there, and that's great.
A good combination there. There's the left hand again, partially blocked by Kalambay.
Well, whether he wins or loses in this fight, you know, he knows that he's been in a title fight. And you get the smell to know what it's all about.
And we have been introduced to a man, Kalambay, who deserves watching in the future. That eye very puffy now and slit by the punches of Kalambay. That is the left eye of Barkley.
I would stay tight. Stay tight. You try to work in the air, you go. Stay tight. Stay on him again. Every time, like Ray said, he backs up out of there every time he gets the game going.
And he has gotten it going a few times in this final round, but he's out of time. That Jeffers crowd roaring with approval. They feel that Patricio Sumbu Kalambay has won it. And we'll find out very shortly if that is the case in the eyes of the three ringside judges. They are from Panama, Denmark, and Canada. The referee from Venezuela has no vote. But on the cards of the two men to my right, it looks to be a one-sided victory for Kalambay.
Yes, I gave it to Kalambay.
I have a 146-139 in favor of Kalambay, yes.
So both decisive margins from the two champions at ringside. And Kalambay has pleased this crowd here and left them short of just one thing. That is a knockout. But it was Barkley who came rushing out for the knockout blow in the final round and just couldn't bring it home. He got out to a bad start. Here he is getting acknowledged from a few backers here, and he got a few whistles, which is the European boo for Barkley.
Like I said, Don, there is no loser tonight. It's a shame that there will only be one winner. Both of these guys fought like champions and shouldn't have deserved the title.
Just that one of them looked to be so much better and so much more consistent. That is Kalambay. I want to thank Marvin Hagler and Ray Mancini for joining me at ringside tonight for what was a very fine bout, a very hotly contested bout, but the point was made by both Ray and Marvin earlier that Barkley's plan got turned around and became Kalambay's plan an advantage, and that is tactically and also the small ring. It worked certainly to the advantage of the Italian fighter far more than it did for Iran Barkley.
Don, may I interject that Marvin may be doing the smart thing right now. He's on the way out. He's heading for the door.
That may be a good move. We await the decision here in Livorno, Italy. Here's the decision now. A 7-point margin from the Danish judge for Kalambay. Another 7-point margin for Kalambay. (147-142) the last judge, so it's a unanimous decision for Patricio Sumbu Kalambay, who wins the WBA middleweight championship here tonight.